Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. And I just want to let you all know that today is going to be an exciting but very spooky video. I figured since Halloween is in like 3 or 4 days, today I would talk about 12 stories or haunted stories depicted on real live true events. I'm going to talk about the 12 most haunted places in Colorado Springs, which is very creepy but exciting at the same time. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. The first one I would like to talk about is called the British Home Shop. I've never heard about this place and never seen photos, never seen what it looks like. I'm sure it's very haunted, but it just so happens to be one of the most haunted places in Colorado Springs. The reason I say that is because it has a number of spirits in the residence, and they are said to be responsible for daily paranormal activity. Now, one particular spirit has a bit of a penchant for locking women in the ladies' restroom, which is very creepy to me. Very, very, very creepy, because you have no control over that. I apologize for my voice. It's messing up a little bit, so bear with me. And then several different paranormal groups have investigated the property and have captured some very credible EVP and spirit photography, which I think is cool but creepy at the same time. The next haunted place I would like to talk about is called Ghouls Gulch Haunted House. Now, Ghouls Gulch Haunted House is one of the more unique places on this list because it is actually a staged haunted attraction. Although most of the scares here are theatrical, the property itself is actually genuinely haunted. The attraction is in what was once the old Cowboys nightclub, which has had more than its fair share of strange happenings. Now, there was once a spot on the dance floor called Dead Man's Curve, because of the number of people who dropped dead there. From time to time, real-life apparitions are spotted within the creepy attraction. The third place I want to talk about is called the Antlers Hotel. Now, if you know me all too well, when I don't like the fact of hotels being haunted. The reason I say that is because the fact of hotels being haunted is very creepy to me. Some hotels have basements. Others do not. Hotels also have an upstairs, a main floor, whatever the case. Some hotels have multiple floors. When you put that in the mix, it's not a very good combination. But the Antlers Hotel boasts 3 different ghostly residents. One of the spirits is most often found hanging out in Judge Baldwin's bar, which I've never even heard of. But the reason this one's so creepy to me is because it's like one of the bigger hotels. So you know there's a lot of ghostly activity there. The second ghost is a lady in a long dress, and she's usually found coming down the back stairs. And then the third and final ghost is a young girl who committed suicide on prom night in the 1970s. And she is usually seen in one of the back rooms. So it's very spooky. Next, I would like to talk about another place, and it's called Evergreen Cemetery. Now, Evergreen Cemetery was actually there before the town of Colorado Springs was formally founded back in 1871. There are records of people being buried in the cemetery from the 1860s, so you can probably imagine why this is one of the most haunted places in Colorado Springs. The majority of the paranormal activity that is reported there seems to be centered in the small chapel that was built in the cemetery in 1910. It was intended to be used for funeral services and also for storing the caskets ahead of burial, but unfortunately the building ended up falling into a state of despair after the demand for services in the chapel declined. Long story short, when the representative toured the building to evaluate it for designation as a historical place, she experienced a negative force passing through her entire body, prompting her to make a hasty exit, which is very creepy to me. because usually that means there's demonic ghosts, you know, when they make you like hastily exit like that. Anyways, the next place I want to talk about is called the Colorado School for the Deaf and Blind. Now, the Colorado School for the Deaf and Blind was built in 1874. Some of the deaf people at the school have reported seeing ghosts in various parts of the school, including the dorms and the gym. Now, those who are able to hear have also reported some very strange noises coming from the basement, which is said to be the scariest place in the building. And if you know me all too well, I also don't like basements because they are creepy and they are the most scariest. And basements are just scary because you look downstairs and it's really dark and you're like, I don't know if I should go down there because it's really dark and it's really scary looking. So the sixth place I want to talk about is the Arby's. When you think about the most haunted places in your town, your first thought probably isn't the local fast food joint. But believe it or not, one of the most haunted places in Colorado Springs is the local branch of Arby's. Sometime in the mid-90s, the manager was shot in the parking lot by one of her employees. It is believed that she is the one who is responsible for some unexplained events in the restaurant. People often comment on hearing unexplained whispering in the lobby area, and things often seem to get moved around when nobody is in there. On several occasions, staff have put the chairs on the tables to clean the floors and went to another area in the restaurant only to come back and find the chairs taken completely back down. And then some people even claim to see the apparition of a woman standing in the kitchen. Staff more or less refuse to be at work by themselves, and I can't say I blame them. Number 7, the Chapel Hills Kmart. There are frequent reports that shop displays are knocked over when nobody is there and that staff hear strange noises coming from the garden shop. The activity is more apparent in the early morning, with staff reporting cold spots and like someone brushing up against them in the aisles. It has been suggested that this is the work of a former manager named Carl, who died in 1998. Next is called Gold Camp Road and tunnels. So the tunnels were built in the 1800s, and it is said that some of the construction workers died during the building process. There are also several unsubstantiated tales of a school bus that was apparently struck by a train, possibly even because the bus driver was suicidal. The second tunnel is a popular spot for people to put their car in park and turn off the lights to see if the vehicle is pushed. Others describe seeing several apparitions of men in cloaks. The third tunnel is not accessible, but many have peered into the gloomy tunnel and seen strange shadows and unexplained lights. Number 9. Coronado High School. So Coronado High School first opened in the 70s, and at that time the on-site pool was also open to the public. There's a story that says one of the lifeguards invited his girlfriend and her little sister to come down and go swimming after the pool had closed. The couple were making out in the coach's office and were not watching the young girl, and she ended up drowning. Sometimes in the early morning, the ghost is most often seen in the far, in the morning, the ghost of a little girl in a bathing suit is often seen in the far corner of the pool, and sometimes swimmers say that something touches them under the water when nobody is near them. Number 10, Garden of the Gods. So at one time, the Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs was an Indian burial ground. These days, it is said to be the site of a range of paranormal activity. Some of the most common reports include tourists feeling a presence in their car as they drive past. There are also many reports of cars simply dying completely in the middle of the road and being found the next day empty with the doors all lying open. Some drivers have also reported that their brakes fail as they pass. The 11th most haunted place is called Cheyenne Canyon. and that's more like over by Manitou, not really in Colorado Springs per se. Another one of the most haunted places in Colorado Springs is Cheyenne Canyon, which has a long history with local American Indian tribes. The ancient Native American lore tells of a god named Manitou, who is said to have thrown the devil into the canyon facing the heavens. To this day, a rock formation known as the Devil's Horns can be seen marking the spot where the devil was thrown. However, it is not the devil who is said to haunt the area. In fact, the spirit haunting the area is said to belong to a cheating gambler who was thrown from the same spot. There have been human remains dating to the 1800s discovered in the canyon, suggesting that it has become something of a dumping ground for undesirables. No wonder it is haunted. And the last and final place is Harrison High School Auditorium. So one of the most haunted places in Colorado Springs is the auditorium of Harrison High School. It is believed that the ghost of a young man called Malcolm is haunting the auditorium. There have been lots of reports of phantom footsteps on the stage and also on the catwalk above. Some people have also reported strange, unexplained lights glowing on the catwalk. On occasion, a young woman working on the catwalk slipped and would most likely have fallen to her death had it not been for the fact that someone grabbed her and pulled her to safety. However, when she turned, there was no sign of anyone. She does recall feeling a breath on her cheek, almost as though someone had kissed her gently. Alright, so that's my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video and would like me to do more like this one, then please smash that like button. And please help me out and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next one. Y'all have a great day now. Bye!